Let me ask you a question. Are you okay? Like, seriously, are you okay? Because I'll be honest, I'm not okay. I am not okay when it comes to the area of self-actualization. And it's so funny because I believe it was on the very last video that I did where I talked about magnetic energy and the one particular thing that you needed to get rid of if you really wanted to have that glow up. I talked about self-actualization in that video. And then after I got done with that video, I sat back and I was like, I don't think I've reached that. I really don't think that I have gone through all of the necessary steps in my life to actually reach self-actualization. Now, obviously, we all know self-actualization is about reaching your fullest potential, being the absolute best version of yourself, reaching the goals that you used to tell yourself that you could never reach, actually hitting each of those goals. But how can we get to self-actualization if we are constantly spending 365 days ahead, or we're 772 days ahead? We're always constantly in the future and never enough in the present moment. We're constantly spending so many days ahead, but yet we are missing the day one moments. Let's just take it all the way back to childhood for one moment, okay? We all know the story of the tortoise and the hare. So we're trying to move like the hare in the process, but do we not remember who won that race in the end? The tortoise won the race. So the tortoise moved slow and steady. The tortoise never stopped. The hare thought that he knew everything, thought that, oh my gosh, I know all about this race and life. Well, we're just going to use the life race as an example. But the hare was like, oh, I can take breaks because I got this. I know what I'm doing. And what happened? The hare lost. The tortoise knew what it meant to survive, what it meant to win, what it meant to actually succeed and hit the goals that you have. It's a slow and steady race. But with it being slow and steady, you don't miss any steps in the journey. And that is the point that we are trying to get to, is to not miss the steps. So how are we going to stop missing the steps in our journey and actually reach that self-actualization? Baby, we're about to romanticize everything, okay? We're going to romanticize this whole entire process, and it's not just so it can be cutesy and all of that and aesthetic and so we can take pictures. No, it's not for any of that. It is so that you can be reminded of what it means to be in the present moment. I am so excited. You guys, I am so sorry. If you have been here with me, then the last couple of weeks have been a little inconsistent. Thank you guys so much for clicking on today's video. If you want to check out some of the cutesy content, like I said, the style, the makeup, the glam, definitely make sure you go to my short form platforms. Links are down below because y'all already know. See, it feels weird because I haven't even said that in a couple of days. Here on YouTube, we are keeping it all about the conversation, and today is all about what we need to do to reach that self-actualization in our lives. So why? What is the point to romanticize your self-actualization journey? I'm gonna tell you like this, because this is one journey in your life that you will forever be on until your eyes close and you take your last breath and the spirit leaves the body. You are always going to be on a self-actualization journey. It is a relationship that you will be in for the rest of your life. And honestly, even after, when the spirit has left the body, in my mind, honestly, I feel like in spirit form, we're still going to be reaching that next level of consciousness, awakening ourselves. Like, there is a journey in the spirit form as well. Like, that's what I believe. I don't know what your beliefs are, but that is what I believe. You're always going to be learning about yourself, trying to understand yourself, trying to understand your values and what you can provide to the world around you. So because we know that this journey is such a long journey, again, this is a journey that you're gonna be on for your entire life. Why not make a journey that is sometimes exhausting, sometimes tiring, but then also sometimes fulfilling and awakening? Why not take that journey in your life and make it one of the most beautiful storylines about your life? Romanticizing your self-actualization journey is almost like you're recommitting to yourself. You're taking a moment to say, I know this road is going to be tiresome. I know this road is going to break me. I know this road is going to be filled with a lot of work. But if I romanticize it, like I said, if I make this one of the most beautiful storylines of my life, I can then see all of the beautiful things around me. I can actually start to see the beauty in the actual journey itself. A lot of us will sit and be like, oh yeah, I see the journey and I see the beauty in it. But do we really? Do we really see the beauty of being broken down? I don't think we do, because when we're broken down and we're at our weakest form, in that moment, we're not looking at that as beautiful. But when you choose to romanticize your life and you're choosing to really draw out those smallest little details and making them more, not necessarily more powerful, but you're bringing them to the forefront, which actually I'm going to break down romanticizing your life in a minute, because that's kind of my definition of it. But you are taking those smaller moments, you're bringing them to the forefront, and you're making them more meaningful in your life. Before I go any further, let me just go ahead and tell you my personal definition of what romanticizing your life looks like. We've probably all heard a very similar term, but this is just something that I jotted down myself. I said taking small moments that are normally an oversight in your day and bringing them to the forefront to find more appreciative moments and more meaning in the moments that we are given. That's romanticizing. So I want you guys to look at it from this perspective. Ask yourself a question. If you, at the end of the night, ask yourself how much of your day you can remember, is it going to be more than 90%? Be truthful with yourself when you answer that question. If I had to sit and ask myself right now, at the end of my day, when I'm about to go to sleep, how much of my day can I actually recollect? What do I remember? Can I remember all of the smaller details of my day? Do I remember the smaller moments, or am I just always looking for the highlight reels? Okay. Are we just looking for the highlight reels in our own personal lives? So if I were to ask myself that question, honestly, I would probably say I can remember 70%, 75%, maybe 80% of my day. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, because that still might be on the high end. I might remember 60%, 70%. Because again, when we're constantly living in the future, and we want to get to that big moment, we're constantly always looking for the big moments throughout our day to day. So we'll breeze through the smaller little moments, those moments that we want to start romanticizing, we breeze through those. We don't give them a second thought in that moment because we're always overlooking them. It is imperative that we start highlighting those smaller moments. So when somebody asks you about your day, don't just tell them, like for me, if you guys were to ask me, how was your day yesterday? I would probably tell you, oh my gosh, I've been so consistent. I made sure that I posted on TikTok, Instagram, LTK, and Pinterest, and I did all of them. I'm gonna give you those highlights of my day because those are going towards my bigger goal. But that's not necessarily true. It is the smaller moments that are also helping. So don't just continue to breeze over those smaller moments as if they don't matter, because they do matter. The other day, I was sitting and drinking my coffee and I was really spaced out. Like, TV was off. I was sitting in the kitchen. I had my notebook. I had my computer. I was drinking my coffee, and I really was just sitting and realizing you still got a lot of work to do. I was having a self-realization moment. I was really immersed in the thought process. Maybe you are still not convinced that romanticizing your life and doing all these exaggerated moments on the smaller details is not the route. Let me see if I can convince you this way. A lot of us are walking around in misery right now, especially when it comes to financial freedom. Well, what is the reason why we don't have financial freedom? It's a self-discipline thing. Self-discipline is why you lack financial freedom. It's also why you lack reaching your goals. You lack consistency. You lack determination. You lack happiness, and you lack self-actualization. All of that I just mentioned, all of it stems from a lack of self-discipline. Here is how romanticizing your life can help that. We know that romanticizing your life is all about keeping you in the present mind. It's about keeping you focused on the smaller aspects of your day. Those smaller moments, like I said earlier, that we so often just like to look over as if they don't happen. It's about keeping you present-minded enough to even be able to see every detail of your day, paying attention to yourself in a more in-depth level. So romanticizing your life can very well help you reach a new level of self-discipline that you've never been able to reach before. Self-discipline is such a hard thing to learn, and that's why every single second of every single day matters so very much when you're trying to learn self-discipline. Romanticizing your life keeps you in the everyday moments, the every single second, every single minute, every single hour of every single day. So we covered the fact that if we choose to romanticize our self-actualization journey, it can give us things like self-discipline. It can help us stay more present-minded. But I want to look at another benefit of this process and how it actually supports the self-actualization journey. And that is that it removes that perspective that your life is mundane and that your life is boring and that you have all of this repetition throughout your days. My life right now is beautiful just as well as it is interesting. Your life right now is beautiful just as much as it is interesting, but we don't realize it until we realize it. Like, did y'all hear what I said right there? Did you hear it? You don't realize it until you're ready to realize it. We spend all of this time looking at our lives as if we have nothing to show for it. Oh my gosh, it's so boring. There's nothing going on. I feel like I'm on the hamster wheel. Nothing's changing. Everything is the same every single day. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm about to burp. Oh gosh, you know how you feel like you're about to burp and it gets stuck. Anyway, I digress. But a lot of us feel like nothing's happening and that our life is boring. And when you actually take the time to look at your surroundings, open up that other set of eyes that you have, okay? Because right now you're looking from just one perspective. You're not allowing your mind to actually expand and look at the whole entire picture of your life. It's not boring. And it is interesting. You do have things right now going on for yourself that are worth looking at. So yes, romanticizing your life is definitely going to help with your self-actualization journey. It's going to look at all of those mundane moments that you think you have, all of those boring moments that you think you have. It's going to allow you to take a step back, open that other set of eyes, lenses, whatever you want to call it, open that other set of eyes, and you'll be able to see the beauty that is in each of the moments that you have. Think about how you want your future self to look back and reflect on the right now moments. Most of us can envision what our future self looks like. We've all been given that seed. That vision has been planted, and we have this vision of what we're going to look like in the future, what career you might be working, your family, your children. We all have some type of vision that we have. The problem is we cannot seem to find the road that will actually take us to get to that future version of ourselves. The reason we struggle so much to find that road that we're actually supposed to be on is because we are battling way too much mental clutter on the day to day. And then here's the problem, like, even I'm guilty of this, I'm not gonna lie, and this is something that, again, I've been kind of reflecting on here lately. We wear that like a badge of honor. Like, we put so much pride in working past our limits. Let me just let that settle in right there. We wear it as a badge of honor to work past our limits. One of the biggest things that I used to say, oh my gosh, I work so well under pressure. I have literally conditioned myself to work under stress. Let's again let that sink in. This is why we struggle to find the road that we are supposed to be on, because we have conditioned ourselves to be under stress 24 hours a day. We need to remove that conditioning that we've put on ourselves. We need to deprogram that, because how can we honestly get to the right road? And again, in order to even get to the right road, you have to go through a lot of inner work still before the road is even like, Think about it like this. You know, you can clearly see the highways that you need to take when you're driving. You see the exit ramp that you need to take. Well, our ramps, our exit ramps, and our highways and lanes, they're not revealed to us until we're ready to see them. That's why so many of us end up on the wrong road doing the wrong thing, and then we have to revert back and start all over. What I want you guys to understand is this is a part of going on that inner journey that you need to go on, removing all that stress so that you can have your most logical, clear mind so that those roads can be revealed to you. So yes, romanticizing your life is going to benefit you in this area because it is going to help remove that stress, remove that mental clutter that you have so that you can get to that place of realizing that your life is beautiful. You can get to that place where you're ready to do the proper inner work. So again, that your exit ramp can be revealed so that that future version of yourself that you've been seeing and envisioning, you can get on the right lane that is going to take you to become that person. So I know a lot of you are going to be like, Tony, well, how do I do that? How do I start romanticizing my life? How I personally started is the very first thing that kind of jumped off the whole entire process was a change in my mindset. When you notice that shift in your mindset, don't ignore it. You need to listen to what your inner self is telling you, because I very well could have walked away like, no, I'm not ready to do that change or make that change. If there's anything in you telling you that you need to make this change, this pivot right now, listen and begin to change your mindset. Second way that I started to begin to romanticize my life is I started tracking what I could remember out of my day. Remember, I told you guys earlier, ask yourself at the end of each day, what do I remember about my day? Third thing that I started paying attention to was I started to ask myself, were you a little more snappy today? Or were you a little more logical? I get snappy sometimes, but one thing that I do not do when I get snappy is I don't create those moments where I just maybe take a moment to breathe. Breathing exercises, I've talked to you guys about that before, makes such an impact on your day. So I need to take my own advice and incorporate more breathing exercises throughout my day. Even if you allowed yourself 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night, maybe it doesn't even have to be first thing in the morning. Maybe it can be 11 or 12 o'clock right before you go to lunch, and maybe like 6 or 7 in the evening. Just take 10 minutes and do those breathing exercises. Come back to self, come back to the present moment, look around at your environment. I don't care what you need to do. Number 4 thing that I started really trying to pay attention to when I decided that I really wanted to start romanticizing my self-actualization journey is I decided that if I was having a pity party, I was only going to allow myself to be in that pity party for a brief moment, and then I had to shake myself out of that. Romanticizing your life is about bringing more gratitude into your life, bringing more moments of appreciation into your life, thinking about the things that you have in the right now moment and putting as much gratitude on that. Because again, it's not about us living 365 days in the future. It's not about us living 722 days in the future. We are in the right now, and we have to pay attention to what it is that we have right now available to us. 9 times out of 10, if we're throwing any kind of self-pity party, it's because 1, we did not get something at the timing that we wanted, or 2, we didn't get something tangible, a physical item. We didn't get it with that instant gratification stamp on it. We didn't get it. So we throw these pity parties, you might not sit and actually be like a toddler, like throwing a fit or something, but you know you're having a pity party. For me, I get an attitude. I kind of pout a little bit. I kind of, start scrolling on my phone all angrily or whatever. Like, you can tell I'm having a pity party, but then I don't want to sit in that. When you sit in that pity party and you sit in all of that negativity, you guys already know that's going to brew and brew and brew, and then you're going to be in a whole mess of negativity. So pull yourself out of that. If you didn't get something right at that moment when you wanted it, so what? That probably means that you didn't need it in the first place. So pulling myself out of that and putting more of my focus on that gratitude that I can get through romanticizing and looking at those smaller details of my life and being grateful for the beauty that I truly have already. That's how I started working myself out of that funk and out of that pity. Number 5 thing that I did to start romanticizing my life is I started trying to create calmer spaces. I created a space for me to be able to work, to be at my calmest state, and ideas just firing off. Like my fingers was just moving. So creating those calmer spaces can actually give you more productivity, but it also helps you to just, again, be in that moment where you're like, this is where I am right now. And I'm okay with that. I'm still creating a space for myself to accept me. I'm accepting where I am in life, and I'm okay with that. I don't have all the answers. I don't have everything figured out, but I'm going to take a step back, be present in the moment, accept where I am, and be happy that I'm at least showing up for myself and making the necessary changes, doing the inner work so that I can get to that version that I've been envisioning. I'm gonna wrap this video up by saying this. I want you to become the tortoise, okay? I was definitely the hare. I thought that I knew it all. I thought I had all the answers. I was like, oh, I can do this and I can do that, and then I can take these breaks or whatever. I was wrong. I needed to remind myself to become the tortoise in this situation. Your choices, your thoughts, your feelings, everything that is in the right now is setting you up to cross the finish line. What's at the finish line? That vision that you've already been given. That's at the finish line. So everything that you do right now, every single choice that you make right now, today, and then if Lord willing, you wake up tomorrow, all of your choices that you make tomorrow are going to again go towards that finish line. But here's the thing, that vision that's at your finish line right now, it definitely can keep altering, and it can keep altering because it is dependent on your choices right now. The choices I made today can impact my finish line. The choices I made yesterday, the choices I make tomorrow, they are all going to impact what that vision looks like at my finish line. So if you know what that vision looks like, you know what's already been given to you and revealed to you in your mind, you already have it. Start making the choices that are going to help you to actually get there. And like I said, one of the biggest choices that you can make right now is to romanticize a little bit more in your life so that you can begin to feel that gratitude, begin to be present-minded, and again, realize that your life is beautiful as it is. I missed this, you guys. I really missed this over the last couple of weeks. I told you guys that one week I went out of town and I only had one video. Last week I didn't post at all. So I am so excited that I was able to get back on track, get this video done, because I really wanted to just give you guys a piece of where I am right now in my life. And where I am is realizing I still have a lot of work to do. I'm still on my self-actualization journey. So again, I pray that this conversation really did help you as much as it's been helping me. Obviously, I'm not getting on here to just encourage you guys. I'm trying to encourage myself as well. I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can to stay on that path, that journey of actually reaching self-actualization, getting to know myself through and through, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. I need to know myself 100%. So again, like I said, thank you guys so much for being here, for clicking on today's video. Thank you guys for following me on my other platforms. A lot of you have been coming over from my YouTube and going to my TikTok and my Instagram, and I really do appreciate that. So thank you guys so much. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it here, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye, my loves.